Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Serge, and in today's video I want to show you a Nissan Altima with transmission issues. This is a 2013 Nissan Altima, and not only that I'm going to show you the issues that it's having, I'm going to show you how to resolve this problem really easily and the potential causes of this transmission issue that you might be having. At least I'm going to share with you what I'm having, and maybe this is going to help you save some money and replace the transmission, because you could solve this literally with 1 quart of transmission fluid. So at this point, I'm not sure if I'm having this issue just yet, but I will test this and let you know. Here we go, guys. Let's just accelerate. So we're going to simply accelerate really fast. So this is actually not, not that fast, but whenever this transmission problem occurs, the car starts kind of like bucking and stuff like that. So let's just give it one more shot. I think it's close to having this issue, but not yet. Can you hear how it does that, like the little whiny noise? It is low on fluid, and that is the reason that it's actually doing that. Let's see, let's just try this again. I'm trying to see if it's gonna recreate this problem that I've been having before. So at this time, the problem's like not that bad. This problem sometimes gets a lot worse. So what's going on is I actually have a leaking transmission, and when it's leaking, this is the problem that's happening. Let me explain to you what I mean by leaking transmission. This is kind of like what to look for. If you come to your transmission here and you're having this type of mess inside of your wheel, it means you're having a leaky transmission, and it's really wet down here, like in this area and stuff like that. So I'm gonna pop the hood and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So guys, we have the hood open, and here's where the transmission dipstick would be if it had one, but it does not have one. Therefore, you cannot measure your fluid. But what you can do is slightly estimate how much fluid it needs and then add some. So over here on this side, you really can't see it that much. Let's see if I could zoom in. This is not a very good picture, but you could kind of see that area right there that's where one of the transmission lines go, and it's slightly wet with fluid. So it does have a little bit more of a close-up, but I believe the wrong transmission line was used in this situation, and this is resulting in fluid leak. Now the proper fix for this would be go ahead and actually replace that transmission line. I could see that's a new line, and it's just a very hard type of fuel line where the clamp is not doing a good of enough job to keep the fluid in place. Guys, if you're having a transmission leak with your Nissan Altima, which I'm sure it can be pretty common due to the fact that like little clamps like that hold the transmission lines in place, then be sure to check those out and check where the rim is, where you could actually see all the fluid being on the rim and being kind of like all around on your shroud and stuff like that, and that's actually where the leak is. Now the proper fix would be for this is for me to actually remove the bumper, inspect all the lines, wash everything out, and then replace the transmission lines. Recently I purchased myself some transmission lines, and I'm gonna try to attempt to fix this, but it is going to be a lengthy process because there's a lot to remove. So this bumper itself gets bolted down to the fenders, and you have to kind of like reach in between these areas, and to get everything loose, you have to remove all of these type of things just so that you could actually pull it. So I want to make sure that in that day I'm gonna do that and the other thing. Another thing I'm having is an issue with AC, so I want to make sure I'm gonna check out my AC lines, and see if I could find the leak of the AC. This is the CVT fluid that I use, and I pick it up right at Walmart. So you can see this is for CVT, ATF automatic transmission fluid. This has been working really great in my vehicle, and you can see that it is made for Nissans, including NS2 and S3 and stuff like that. So this is definitely going to work in mine. To replace fluid, you simply need a funnel like this, very common funnel, and then simply add some fluid this way. We're only going to replace about half a quart of fluid, and I think that should actually resolve my issue. So let's see how much fluid we used up. We used up a little bit less than a quart. I'm just gonna put just a little bit more. I actually don't want to add a full quart of oil. I just want it to be somewhere between half and slightly above half. So that's actually good. If you just replace some oil, make sure you remove that little funnel, and do replace this by inserting it like this. Make sure it goes into the metal piece, squeeze it down, and it locks it in place. Good idea to keep kind of like a little emergency bag in case anything happens on the road. And in this type of situation, I know I have a transmission fluid leak, so I try to carry at least 1 quart of transmission fluid with me inside of the bag like this, and a funnel and some other stuff. So this is what I have inside of the bag. I have some transmission fluid, I got a funnel in one of these. Oil tends to wear away like at all the you know, bags and stuff like that, so that works good. I keep some gloves, keep some spare water just in case. I keep a thing to measure the battery and the alternator if that happens. Keep some tape, you never know what you're gonna need it for. And I keep something to check my engine and delete the codes. I've actually had to use this before for this very transmission issue. I end up leaving a place and my transmission fluid was low, and when I scanned it, I had a bunch of transmission codes which caused the vehicle to go into limp mode. So with this, I was actually able to delete the transmission codes. You can pick this up anywhere online for much cheaper, but this came directly from Harbor Tool & Freights. This is a Zurich ZR13. This was the best unit that they sold at the time, so that's what I got. Now there's some better ones out there, but this is still very good. I also keep a little tire inflator, so I could actually inflate my tires. And my tire is actually running a little bit low right now, so I'm gonna try to inflate it just a little bit. So things like that, guys. Some like rags, some napkins, stuff like that. Very important. I decided to see if this thing is working, and look at this, guys. It's not working, guys. Another thing that I carry is a battery jump starter. It's this one by Imagine. You could get any brand that you want. And this has like a flashlight, so by holding it comes on, you could just turn it off. So there's a couple chargers out here. Like one of them is a fast charger, one of them is like normal, and you know, it's pretty good. You got in or out, you know, for the USB Type-C, and a DC output as well. So it comes with things like right here for like a DC outlet, and when you plug this in, you get basically a couple battery leads right here, and plug them in, and you could actually jump start your car. Believe it or not, I had to use this one time. Good thing that I had it. It allowed me to come home with that battery. So anyways, guys, let's see if the problem is resolved with my transmission by me adding some fluid. Here we go, guys. We're just gonna start driving it really fast. So this road is 60 miles an hour, and as you can see, no more whining noise, even though I really hit it kind of hard, and it's doing just fine. See? So it accelerates good. As you can see, I wasn't kidding about the tire pressure. My tire pressure in the right front tire, it's actually considered like right when you're sitting behind the driver's seat, which would be the correct way of saying it. So it's basically a little bit deflated, like not that much. The tire is still okay. It actually caught a nail. I did put some green type of slime in it, and that stopped the leak. Apparently, it may have taken maybe like 3 months, and maybe it's starting to slightly deflate a little bit. Also, it could be the temperature changes, because we'll be getting like a cold night last night. Well, not that cold, but it's summertime, so it's a little bit colder than usual. So possibly the change in the temperature resulted in a little bit less pressure. that being said, hopefully this transmission tip will help you just by adding some fluid. In a way, it's a good thing that I could not recreate my transmission just kind of like surging and stuff like that and stopping, but at the same time I really don't want it to, you know, get that bad. But next time the transmission is actually doing that, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about, you know, before I actually get a chance to resolve this issue. Now, I bought this car with this problem, and I actually got a very good deal for it, and I wasn't told that this transmission has this issue because I bought it from an auction. So I bought the whole car as it is for a very good price, and I only paid, well, I paid a little bit more than that, but I won for the price of $3,500. And the car is pretty nice. Like, I mean, it was completely fixed, like everything was good. So when I got it, I was kind of thinking like, wow, what a steal, because Blue Book value was $12,000 for this car. And after getting it and driving it just a little bit, I realized that I was having some of these transmission issues. So I know this car was a return to an auction. Technically, when I mean a return, it was first purchased at an auction by a dealer, and then he decided to sell it back at an auction. I think he realized that it has this issue and he did not want to spend the money to try to fix it. And ultimately, he did not know what's going on, so he figured, look, instead of selling it to somebody with a problem, then getting his car returned, he's just gonna take it to the auction and sell it that way. And now I got it, and of course I figure out what's wrong with it, and you know, now I'm going to fix that issue, and I'm gonna have a very nice car with low mileage. As you can see, the car only has 68,000 miles on it, 768, and that's all it's got on it. Not bad. It did actually have 45,000 miles when I bought it, actually like a little bit under than that. So I am actually very happy to say that I'm the one that put all those miles on here. Anyways, guys, the reason I got so many miles on here so quickly is because I'm doing Lyft and Uber Eats. I'm driving a lot, so I'm using this car to further make me money. So what I want to do, guys, in the next video is to show you how I make money with this car, and very good money at that. So sometimes $300 a day, you know, depending on days, I could make a little bit more. So that's not bad, and you could actually transfer this money out that same day. So feel free to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell notification, because I will be posting a video showing you guys how much money I make with Lyft and Uber. I already actually made one of those videos, and I would like to share it with you guys in case you guys don't know the earning potential of that, or need to learn how you could actually do it as well. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.